they actually introduced a new plan which I'm quite excited about called the Evolve. So Momentum recently launched their updated benefits for 2020, and I must say I'm quite excited for a few changes. Their solvency ratios are stable. The fund has an average age of 29, which is the lowest in the market. Now it's important to have an average low age because all the members tend to claim much more, and if you look in the long run, it does affect the scheme quite substantially. Momentum is one of the fastest growing schemes in South Africa. They didn't make any benefit reductions. They increased some of the benefits, which was to be expected in line with inflation. And they made some enhancements to their wellness program. They enhanced their maternity benefits, now offering home visits from a nurse. So if you return from home from hospital, there's a nurse that will come just to help you adjust to the whole new experience of having a baby at home. They also now offer online video calls with a lactation specialist, and they also offer you meals when you return home from hospital. Keep in mind, depending on the plan you are on, will determine how comprehensive these benefits will actually be. They've made certain enhancements to Hello Doctor. So if you're not aware of what Hello Doctor is an app where you've got an opportunity to speak to a real doctor. You give them your details and they'll give you a call back within an hour. I think their actual response time is closer to 12 minutes, which is quite impressive. In the past, I wasn't that fond of the Hello Doctor app because they couldn't prescribe any medication. So I personally felt that I could still Google the same answer. But now with the new enhancements, they can actually prescribe medication up to Schedule 3. And they've got a few things planned in the pipeline. They actually want you to be able to have a video call with a doctor, but I think that's only in the pipeline for 2021. Momentum's average increase across the board was about 8.2%, which is very low compared to the rest of the market. Now, keep in mind that medical inflation is much higher than normal CPI, and that is why when you look at medical increases, they are normally much higher than general CPI. If we take a look at each option in a bit more detail, I think it's good if we just recap on the different types of options we've got available when looking at medical aids. So in short, when you look at a medical aid, there's basically four main options to choose from. Number one is an income-based option. Now this option is perfect when affordability is a major factor, because this option is based on your income. The more you earn, the more you'll pay. The less you earn, the less you'll pay. This option does cover you in a private hospital. It also covers you for chronic medication and certain day-to-day benefits such as doctor's visits, dentistry, optometry, and so on. This option is very network-based, so make sure that there is a network provider within your vicinity. This option is nice to start off with, but it will frustrate you in the long run. It does come with some limitations within the hospital and out of hospital. If you require more comprehensive cover in hospital without the limits as the income-based option, you should look at a hospital plan. This option covers you comprehensively in hospital. It covers you actually for chronic medication as well, but it does not have any day-to-day benefits. If you require more comprehensive cover in and out of hospital, you should look at a full medical aid. And there's basically two. You can either look at a new generation full medical aid or a traditional plan. Now the new generation full medical aid covers you comprehensively in hospital, also offering chronic medication and day-to-day needs in the form of a savings account. Now the savings account is nice. It offers you flexibility on where you want to spend your funds. And if there's money left over at the end of the year, it's transferred over to the next year. Now if you're not very fond of a savings account, you can look at a full medical aid with a traditional plan. A traditional plan will cover you comprehensively in hospital. It covers you for chronic medication as well as out of hospital in the form of day-to-day benefits. Now instead of a savings account where they pool all your funds into one account, the day-to-day benefits are split into different sections. For example, you'll have a different section for GPs, a different section for optometry and dentistry, and so on. The nice thing about this is it can be comprehensive. The bad thing is that if you didn't use all your benefits, you will lose it at the end of the year. If you'd like a more in-depth explanation of how these options work, check out my previous video, Medical Aids in a Nutshell. Now let's look at Momentum's options in a bit more detail. So the first one is being their income-based option, and it's called their Ingwe option. It's a nice option to start off with, but as I said, it might frustrate you in the long run. When it comes to their hospital plans, there's actually two available. They actually introduced a new plan which I'm quite excited about called the Evolve. With the premium starting at 1,294 Rand for the main member, it is about 10% cheaper than comparable options in the market. The reason I say it's for young, healthy single members is that this option does have a little bit lower limits when it comes to certain things like oncology. It also doesn't offer you cover for chronic medication. as with, for example, the custom option, the next hospital plan you've got. This option is also catered specifically for single members. So for example, if you add a dependent, whether it's an adult dependent or a child dependent, you will pay an additional R1,294, exactly the same as for the main member. So if you've got a family, I would recommend you rather look at the custom option if you just want a hospital plan. The custom option is a very nice option. It's also a hospital plan that Momentum offers. The sublimits is a little bit higher than the Evolve, but both the Evolve and the custom option does come with some co-payments. So be careful when it comes to the co-payments. Just have a look at the brochure. Momentum's custom option have an average increase of about 8.4% across the board. If you require more comprehensive cover out of hospital and you want to look at a full medical aid, for example a new generation scheme, you can look at either the incentive option or the extender on Momentum. The incentive option increased with about 7.9%. It's a nice option. It doesn't have all the co-payments, for example, that the custom and the Evolve might have, but the savings is very limited. So have a look at that. Maybe add a health saver with the incentive option. If you require a bit more cover out of hospital, you can look at the extender option. It's also a new generation full medical aid with a savings account. The nice thing about this is the savings is much more than the incentive option. The premium is obviously a little bit more as well. And if you've depleted your savings account, there is a section where you can reach a threshold where the medical aid will kick in again. If you require a more comprehensive plan and you want to look at a more traditional option that Momentum offers, you can look at the Summit plan. The Summit increased with about 9.9%. It's a nice plan, but it's very expensive. Momentum also made certain improvements on their wellness program. Your fitness assessment will now last for 12 months. You can buy your next fitness device with your health saver, which you previously couldn't do. And you actually have a benefit where you can earn 10 Rand for each active day after 20 active days. Keep in mind that there are terms and conditions, so just have a look at that. And that's it for Momentum. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below or get a hold of me. My contact details are in the description. Let me know if I missed something or something that you think I should address more. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'll see you soon.